Hey there, good morning everyone. Friday the 16th of December 2022. This morning's devotional is a reading from Genesis chapter 6, verse 8, which reads, "But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord." Entitlement, a word that is often flung around in the heat of an argument or even a serious debate. But do we know what it actually means? Entitlement means believing oneself to be inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. And so here's a story that I came across which I believe describes the entitlement in each and every one of us. It reads, a man with a deeply infected tropical ulcer who, hobbling on crutches, came to a local clinic asking for help. A nursing sister looked at the open wound, infected and enlarged with redness that reflected the poison that could take his leg or possibly his life. What should she do? Medicines were scarce, and she also knew that his condition was serious. She began by diligently cleaning his open wound. Then she administered penicillin, even though her supply was rapidly dwindling without any hope of getting any more in the near future. Looking into the eyes of the impoverished man, she saw someone worthy of redemption and help. Morning by morning, the man returned, and the sister gently peeled away the infected area, applied antibiotic, and smiled as she watched the work of healing gradually take place. For a month, the man came, finally abandoning his crutches, although walking with a slight limp, but nevertheless walking on his own. Finally, that morning came, and with gladness of heart she said, "Okay, now you don't have to come back anymore. Your sore is healed." Expecting the man to warmly thank her for ministrations of love, she was taken aback by his words. He said, "What are you going to give me now for having come back every morning so faithfully?" Wow, that's serious gratitude, eh? But could it be a reflection of a sense of entitlement, that no matter what we receive from the hand of one who graciously bestows blessing upon us day after day, we expect more? So here's a serious question for us to ponder. Is it possible that the ingratitude of the man is but a reflection of our expectations with God? More than 200 times scriptures speak of what God does for his own, much as the loving sister did for the ulcerated foot of the man who came hobbling on his crutches into that small medical station. Think of the inequities between the ungrateful man with infection that could have taken his life and the caregiver. He came with nothing to compensate her for either her medicine or her time, and she expected nothing. She was there because someone cared about the impoverished, the neglected, and the suffering. He deserved nothing, but she gave graciously and without receiving any compensation whatsoever. What that woman did was a picture of what Scripture calls grace. It is a concept that can only be understood in a spiritual framework. In an attempt to make the word grace more readily understood, modern translators sometimes use the word favor to describe what Christians in the English-speaking world have known as grace for centuries. Everything that God has done for you is not because you deserve it, not because he owes you anything, but simply because he has chosen to touch your life with his hand of mercy and compassion, bringing healing to that putrid wound of sin that could ultimately take your life. My dear friends, what reward do you expect for being so faithful to keep on asking for more without learning to say thank you for what you've already done? Before you condemn the man who hobbled into the clinic morning after morning, expecting more for faithfully begging for help, take stock of your own life, your relationships, and your faith. Who knows, you may even be a descendant of that same beggar who thought he deserved more. Think about it. May the Lord be with you. May he bless you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be with you always. Goodbye.